Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vuvu and this is Vuvu Vena Reads. So, I've got a few things on my mind, so this is quite a chit-chatty video that if you would like, you can continue the conversation down below in the comment section. I have been seeing obviously a whole rise of book lovers, especially in the South African scene, and I'm loving it to bits. And I love especially the fact that it's gotten me to question a lot about this platform and what it is that I'm actually trying to achieve. So I was having a debate with myself the one time, and I think I did say a bit about it on Twitter, where I was talking about how I'm not an exclusive reader, if you get what I'm trying to say. So even though I've seen a rise, or I've become more aware of people's appreciation of literature in South Africa, I've also seen that the appreciation is very exclusive to Black South African or African writers, and almost not inviting or welcoming of any other literature. So my thing with that is that I feel like this is what was done to us all of our lives. When we were going to school, etc., we were taught indirectly an exclusion of literature, which probably is why we are falling so in love with African literature lately. But what that exclusion does is that it closes off the mind, firstly, and it also closes off our imagination, our exposure, and a whole lot of other things to other worlds. Now, what I'm saying here is not to say that do not have a preference. Everybody has a preference. For example, my preference is fiction. All forms of fiction I will read, but it takes a lot out of me to read non-fiction. Will I never read non-fiction? Am I exclusively just a fiction reader? No, because I do want to know what's going on in actual real life. Besides watching the news or reading the news, I want to know what human life experiences are, and I want people who actually existed to help make sense of life. So I will read fiction, non-fiction, even though I'm how do I put it? Even though I have a preference for fiction. So the debate that I was having is that with what I've been seeing in some circles, there seems to be no room in there that allows for any other person outside of what they've chosen to read to infiltrate their reading space or their reading lists or whatever the case may be. And for me, that had me questioning, and it had me worrying a lot. I don't even know how to express this properly, but I really do believe that if we are going to groom a love for reading, we should groom a love for reading. Not to say that you cannot advocate or champion a certain type of writer, but to not speak of any other writing or authors or whatever aside the ones that you're championing, I think does a disservice for anybody who's looking to you for reading advice. I was having a similar discussion with my sister, and we were talking about how some people are intimidated by reading full stop, and how to her I was explaining that when I was starting off on YouTube, I felt like on Booktube, sorry, I felt like I had a few stumbling blocks, because in my mind I'm a slow reader, in her mind I'm a fast reader, she's slower than me. So with these dynamics in place, you automatically compare yourself when you read. So for people who don't have that much knowledge of a certain type of reading, to have people who just only want to engage on that type of reading and nothing else, and are not open to suggestions about anything else, is quite worrying to me. I feel like I've rambled a lot, but what I'm trying to say is that I'm not an exclusive reader. That's not who I am. That's not why I read. I read for enjoyment. I read for bliss. And if bliss comes from anywhere where it comes from, I will take it and I will appreciate it. I do, however, understand the protest against Western literature, in the sense that growing up in school, that's the only type of literature we were ever given. In fact, throughout my primary and high school, I never came across a black author that was set as a book that we needed to read for school. And the only South African author that I ever read while I was in high school was Marguerite Poland, who is a white lady, and the book was called Shades, and I was already in my final year of high school when I came across that, and it was a book that I truly enjoyed. I was telling you guys about it last month. I didn't reread it, but that's not where we are. But I really enjoyed that story, and it stuck to me. But the first time that I encountered black authors, and this is very sad, was in my English literature class in varsity. And that's where I met Zakes Mda, that's where I met Toni Morrison, that's where I met, I'm trying to think, who else was a black author in the prescribed books that we were given. I can't remember any other black authors, but there was, I think, an Indian guy. So there was a lot of diversity in the literature that I was given, which is what actually drew me even further into my love for books. So then I started exploring various black authors, and that being like your Alice Walkers and some South African authors. I wasn't going out of my way to find South African authors, but I did start seeing that I was buying more people of color in terms of authors in my collection. And over the years, instead of it being sprinkles of people of color, I see that type of author is growing in my collection. However, I will be the first to tell you that it's mainly females of color. Males of color I have not explored as well as I could have. And I know that, I don't know if it's a buzz or it's because I'm hearing only recently around or about James Baldwin. Don't shoot me, because I know that he's a literary genius that everybody loves, but I have not been exposed to his texts ever, and shall I say ever. And as a result, because I'm lacking the male person of color in my collection, I really do think that he is somebody that I am going to start purchasing a lot of. But with all that said, what I was trying to say with this video is that I've been having these thoughts lately of, yes, I'm pushing reading for enjoyment, definitely, but what am I actually, aside reading, because that's obvious, but what am I actually advocating for? And with the few South African authors that I have read, and African authors that I have read, I do still feel like too few people know, like not enough people know. And having a platform and a privilege to have a platform of this nature, no matter how tiny, is something that I do think is easy to take for granted, which I have taken for granted. And I want to start seeing on my channel more and more South African, predominantly. Like, I want to turn into a cloudy Motswaneng on this channel, where I have however many percentage, 80% local, 20% international. Was that his slogan even? I don't remember, guys. The thing that he was trying to do with the SABC with the Music Man, you guys remember, where he wanted more local music. than other music, so that these local artists can thrive in their own country. You get what I'm trying to say? So I think I'm gonna pull one of those, you know, because obviously we've got anyway. So I think I'm really thinking of putting one of those where I want to start featuring more South African literature and more African literature on my channel. Because if you guys don't hear it from me, who else are you gonna hear it from? Because I mean, hello. And I have been listening to a lot of podcasts. If you guys don't listen to podcasts and you are actually looking for literature podcasts, I'm just gonna put you onto 2 South African ones that I truly enjoy. I listen to without skipping any other podcasts. Like, they've exposed me to so much, and I'm really grateful that they exist. I'm super happy about the knowledge that has been imparted in me through those platforms. The one specifically being Cheeky Natives, and the other one the other one is a radio segment that has been turned up into a podcast, but I don't get to listen to that segment during the week or when it airs, so I do make it one of my traffic university moments, I call it. Rather, Robin Sharma calls it Traffic University, and I've just stolen his slogan, because when I go to work and when I come back from work, all you hear in the car are podcasts. So I've been listening to the Cheeky Natives, and I've been listening to the Literature Corner with Eusebius Makeza from 702. I do believe that it is on Thursdays at around 11, if not 10, but I never get to catch it, so I catch it as podcasts. And I have been schooled, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, about Africa and all its wonderful writers, and all the books that I never even knew existed from South African authors that I've never even heard about. And now that my eyes have been opened, I'm like, girl, please. Like, the way both of these, okay, it's 3 people, because the Cheeky Natives has 2 hosts, and then it's Eusebius on his own. So the way that these 3 speak even about the books by these South African authors, I'm like, come on, like, why am I only hearing about these people now? So I'm on a mission. All in all, I am just coming here to declare a mission. I am on a mission to do just that. Bring in more South African authors onto this platform, tell you a little bit more about my country, which I absolutely love, which is rich with stories. I mean, I don't know why I've been asleep, man. I don't know what my problem. Forgive me if you have been watching this channel and you are not from South Africa and have been hoping to see more South Africa in this channel. I am here to apologize and to tell you that a plan is being worked out. A plan is being worked out, and the way that it's being worked out is to ensure that it's a sustainable plan, and I'm all for information. So if I am gonna do anything that features South Africa and its beautiful authors, I am definitely gonna bring you as much information with it as I can. So here I am, actually declaring a mission, apologizing, and telling you to watch the space. There is a plan. And before I say way more than I need to say, thank you once again for tuning in, for choosing me, for coming back, and for being so awesome. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, I really do love you guys.